Today's topic, the 5 reinvention steps to creating your dream career after 50. Thanks for staying with us on another segment of Second Act TV. We're back with John Tarnoff, the author of Boomer Reinvention. John, thanks so much for staying with us.
Pleasure.
Okay. What I loved about the book, I felt a little like it was, Stephen Covey meets The Secret.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
I loved it. I really, really did, and I want our viewers to kind of get a feel for how you built this and what they can expect, to go with your program. So, tell us about the 5 steps of reinvention.
Great. Well, I'll just pivot off of your very generous comment there about Stephen Covey and The Secret. On the one hand, yes, the 7 habits of Stephen Covey, I think, are a really wonderful prescription for how to be in business and in life, for that matter. So I wanted to make a very prescriptive book, write a very prescriptive book that was going to really give people a step-by-step way forward, but also to bring in the secret and the power of clear intention, and really to acknowledge all of the intuitive aspects of career. And the book really operates on 2 overarching principles. The first principle is that the career you want and the career that you're destined for is already inside you. This is really about trying to figure out what the authentic mission that you have at this point in your life is, and what you should be following. And then the second important principle is that in order to create the future, you have to reconcile the past. And particularly for those of us at this age, we've likely brought along a lot of baggage, issues that we have with ourselves, where we kind of beat ourselves up for the missed opportunity or the deal gone bad, or we are still resentful of the time that we got fired by the bad boss, or whatever those issues are that we may still be harboring. So those are the important ways of getting into the book. And then the 5-step framework really starts with this concept of reframing. The idea that if you want to make a change, you have to recognize that there are a lot of habitual thinking patterns that you're likely engaging in your life that need to change. And you need to kind of open your mind up to different ways of engaging with the world, of seeing yourself, of understanding how things work. So the second of the 5 steps is the listening step. And listening sounds like a no-brainer, but and certainly we want to be able to do a whole body of research about what we want to do, what's out there. But I think the most important part about listening actually is really talking to people about who you are, what you could be doing, what the problems may have been in your life, what you're good at, what you're not good at. So I really advise people to sit down with a handful of trusted friends, family, colleagues, ex-bosses are very good for this if you can stomach it, to get that critical, constructive feedback that they talk about in HR, where it's the stuff that you know you need to hear, but it may be difficult for you to hear.
Well, and one of the things that I wanted to say, but I got so nervous in that chapter. I know it's funny, the emotion it brings up, like, do I really want to hear that? It was such a great point, really, to do for your reinvention, and that's the uncritical lovers and unloving critics.
Right. We're all kind of caught between the people that want to be very encouraging to us, but don't really want to hurt our feelings, and the people who won't hesitate to hurt our feelings for whatever reasons they may have that have nothing to do with us, with you. So it's really important to kind of find that path really in between those people who are afraid of rocking the boat and the people who are just going to toss the baby out with the bathwater. You've got to be willing to hear the important feedback that you need to be able to grow, but at the same time not to let the scolds take you down.
Yeah. Well, and then your third point is accepting.
So the accepting step, I think this is the most difficult step in the 5 steps, and that really is. I was talking about baggage before. This is really the reconciliation, the heart of the reconciliation process, where you work to really surface all of these areas in your life that are still unresolved, and to ultimately accept them, because look, we really don't have a choice at this point. If we're going to move on, we really need to be able to clear the decks and to make some kind of accommodation with the past and the mistakes that we made, because at the end of the day, those mistakes were lessons, one way or another. So I think it's important to characterize all of the aspects of our life, all the journey as a lesson, and to come to a place of equanimity with our past so that we can move on into the future.
That's the expressing.
And now that is the expressing part. So the last two steps really are the steps that take the reinvention, center it, deepen it in ourselves, and then let us take it out into the world. And so the expressing step really is this kind of workshop, and it's back to kind of kindergarten with paints and Play-Doh, where you are using a whole series of techniques, which I talk about in the book, to really discover. And then in the fifth step, it's about taking it out into the world. And that has changed a lot since we first got into business, 20, 30, maybe 40 years ago. It's a much more social media driven world, and we are very different people than we were then. I believe that we are all, one way or another, thought leaders, and that the experience that we have needs to be represented. My old boss, Jeffrey Katzenberg, used to say this to the art students that we would go out and talk to at schools. He would say, in a perfect world, your art, your work speaks for you. But in the real world, you have to speak for your art and for your work. And I think this applies doubly to us at this age, where there is so much ageism out there, and there is a lot of reluctance to recognize the value of older workers. So in that fifth connecting stage, I provide some strategies for people to take this idea for the business or for the job position, the role that they want to adopt, and go out there and make it so.
Yeah, and you do so beautifully and clearly. Even when I know you had your charts, or fill this in and these exercises, and I'm going, gosh, I wonder what he means there. They turn the next page and says, oh, that's it. So it was really easy to follow. It's a plan that I felt really a lot of people could benefit from, because you walk us through it. And I'm obviously going to, we'll link to your book, to all your information if somebody wants to get in touch with you directly. I know in addition to an author, you're a speaker, a motivational speaker, and offer so much, to our generation. So let's sign out of this segment, and I want to come back, and then let's talk a little bit more philosophical about what this process really involves, and the challenges that we go through in our mind, if nothing else, to make this happen. So thanks for staying over one more time. We'll be back on another segment. See you in a minute. Thanks so much for watching. If you missed our previous segments with John, they're posted right over here. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click the button right here.